Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at some Ironjawz lists. So I have 3 lists that I want to share with you. They're all a little bit different, and I'm going to start with the memeiest at the front. So here is a list. So they're all Ironjawz. They're all going to be Bloodtooth lists, because as you've seen in my We Need to Talk About Ironjawz video, I mean, we're still looking at just like... These are kind of old lists. These are kind of old lists. But I think they're good. So in the first one, we have a Bloodtooth list with Grand Strategy Wa. Our general is an Orc Weird Knob Shaman with Shaman of the Chilled Lands. The reason I think Shaman of the Chilled Lands is going to be really good in Ironjawz, we don't run a lot of casters, right? Like, we're not running 4 or 5 wizards, and so because we only have the one, I feel like having access to Blizzard and Hoarfrost and the Hand of Gork is important. Sometimes you don't want to teleport something, right? Sometimes it's because you have a lot of movement. So sometimes it's better just to throw Hoarfrost on something. And later in the game, it might be better to have Blizzard and throw Blizzard at your opponent. Sorry, one second. Oh. Then we got Mega Boss with Maw-krusha with Destroyer and Fasten, not the general. So this is, if we lose this... If we lose this unit, then, it's not the general, so that's good. And I really think that Fasten... Sorry, one second. I think Fasten is easily still the best mount trait. Weirden just doesn't do it. The thing with Fasten is that you can get... The Mega Boss of Maw-krusha is such a big base, and even though you have teleports and you have Mighty Destroyer... Like, Fasten just gets you where you need to be. If you can teleport anywhere on the map, and then you can Fasten, and then you can Mighty Destroyer charge. Right? So it's like you can get around Unleash Hell, you can do all kinds of things. If your opponent is zoning you out, right, you can do like the teleport, Fasten, Mighty Destroyer charge, retreat, pile in, trick to get into their backlines, all kinds of good stuff. So, I don't know, like, Fasten on a Mega Boss I think is still easily the best one. And then you have a War Chant with Fix and Beat and Get 'em Beat. Cool. And then we have a Rabble-Rouser, because of course this is the Maw-grunta list. Then we have 2 reinforced units of Gore-gruntas, and then a unit of 170 Gore-gruntas, like a single unit of Gore-gruntas. And then we have a Maw-grunta with Hack and Crew. So this is the Rabble-Rouser list. And I don't think this list is super meta. This is going to be the weakest of the 3 lists, in my opinion. But I think that the monstrous action of the Maw-grunta is powerful. I think of all of the effects that have been released, all of the new Ironjawz units that were released in the last wave of releases, I think of all of those, I think that that ability of the Maw-grunta with Hack and Crew to skip over battle line units and get into the meaty center is the best ability. But you need to run in charge. You need to have the ability to run in charge. Wow, what a great thing to put on Tusk Boss, hey? Once per battle, this turn, all Gore-gruntas can... all Maw-gruntas can run in charge. Oh my god, that'd be so good. That would work with the momentum so well. Anyway. So, with Rabble-Rouser, you... could turn 1, run and charge. So then it's, move up the board, run, gain momentum, charge, gain momentum. Then the monstrous action you can actually get, because I believe you have to roll under your momentum. So hopefully you're at least, because the average at that point will be 5. So, okay. So you get a good roll there, and now you're at max momentum. And once you're at max momentum, then you're able to actually kill something in the back, right? You're able to get into something in the back. So, if we were to look at the actual damage and stats, let's see if we can just look at this really quick here. So, I made one just for pigs. So, here it is right here. So, Hack and Crew with momentum. If you can see it right here, let's just increase the size. Hack and Crew with momentum. You can see how the damage actually goes up significantly. And this is, it's going to increase it by quite a bit, by like 50%. So, you know, dealing 12 damage, dealing 10 damage, and this is without any other buff. This is just the Hack and Crew with momentum. But if, you know, Violent Fury is going to take this and skyrocket it. But if you can take, you know, your dude and you can skip him over the front lines and get him into the back lines and kill the important caster or kill the general or kill even a monster, right? Like, you're getting to high enough damage here that with Violent Fury, probably not Hoarfrost, right? But just with Violent Fury, you're going to be able to deal quite a bit of damage to the whatever it is that you want in the back line, you know? So, still doable. Probably not worth it, but fun. But fun. And it's a 100-point tax, right? But I think it's fun. I think it's fun. I could see changes being made to the Maw-gruntas or whatever, and then a list like this suddenly being viable. But I think it's fun. Like, I think it's worth playing with your friends. You should try it. I think it's gonna be fun, right? You jump in their back line. It's great. So much chaos. Okay, the second list. This is the double Maw-krusha list. So we have a Maw-krusha with who's our general with Mighty Wall Leader and a pouch of Null Dust. So this is going to be a very, very aggressive list. And then we have a Mega Boss on Maw-krusha with Destroyer and Fasten. So this one with Destroyer and Fasten is going to be our first one in, right? He's going to be like the forward one. And then the one with Mighty Wall Leader is going to sit in the back. So the way that I envision this list is, you know, on one flank you have a Maw-krusha and 6 pigs. On the other flank you have a Maw-krusha and 6 pigs with 1 War Chanter each. And then up the middle you got 3 Gore-gruntas that are coming to, you know, maybe surround and destroy or snag objectives, right? But really you're going to go in with these 2 big fists and you're going to just punch. And it's going to be good. So if you're, you know, if you have 2 Maw-krushas and you want to throw them on the table, give this list a try. Good times had by all. And then last but not least, we have what I think is actually a good Ironjawz list. Like, if I was going to play Ironjawz, if I was like, okay, like I'm going to enter into this tournament or this league or whatever it is, and I'm going to bring Ironjawz, this is the list that I would bring. So, of course, we got Ironjawz Bloodtooth 1, no problem. Our general is an Orc Weird Knob Shaman with Shaman of the Chilled Lands and the Great Big Green Hand Orc. So just like before, it's like if we need to teleport, if we need to Hoarfrost, if we need to Blizzard, whatever spell that we need, we're going to have access to. I think it's better to have access to the right spell than it is to have Master of Magic and be able to re-roll like only the one spell that we have, right? And then we also have a second Orc Weird Knob Shaman because we are playing an Andorian Locust meta. So having 2 Andorian Locusts is going to be really important. And this Shaman also has the Great Big Green Hand Orc. So what this does for us is it means we have one Shaman that is teleporting, and we have the other Shaman that is Hoarfrosting. That's going to be the default. Our General is going to cast Hoarfrost, and then our Weird Knob Shaman is going to teleport. That works. That's great. Later in the game, if we don't want a Hoarfrost, we can Blizzard, and we can teleport. That works too. Or we can Mystic Shield and teleport, if that's what we want to do. Right? So it also means that because both Shamans have the teleport spell, it means that the range that we can cover for when we do want to teleport something is going to be higher. So, I mean, that's not that important because we're going to play it, we're going to build around that and position ourselves and deploy around that anyway. But I don't know. What do you think about this? I kind of feel like going both to Great Big Green Hand Gork is the right way to go. But you can tell me what you think. 2 units of Reinforced Gore-gruntas. A 170 block of Gore-gruntas. And then a reinforced units of Brutes. So the Brutes, 10 Brutes is scary, especially if you have a, you know, Violent Fury, get 'em beat, teleport kind of deal. I think that all those things are good and scary. I think the Brutes getting a free all-out attack against big things. I think it's 4 and plus wounds. I think that's value, and that's really good, right? If your opponent has some big monster that needs to be taken down, that works. I also think that the Brute's ability to deny 1 wound enemy models on objectives within 3 inches is another really strong toolbox thing that you can use with the Brutes. So you can teleport the Brutes early onto an objective that you know is going to be contested by 1 wound idiots. And you can stand there and you can say, come get me, bro. Like, I'm just going to stand on this objective. And if you want to take it from me, you're going to have to take it. And you're not going to have an easy time taking it. I think that has value. They also are good backlines because you do have these 2 casters and these 2 war chanters. So if your opponent has any like teleport tricks or shenanigans, the brutes can just sort of sit in the back while your Mega Boss and Gore-gruntas charge forward, and the brutes can just kind of zone out the back line. That works too until they're needed, right? And then you can teleport them and do whatever you want to do with them. Yeah, I mean, like they're strong. Like brutes are strong. In this list, instead of running the brutes, what you could run is you could run like two units of ragers, and that gives you 80 more points. So you could do like 2 units of ragers and maybe an endless spell. That might be okay. Or 2 units of ragers, and you could do like I guess you can't use Hobgrots. But yeah, I mean, you could use 2 units of ragers and have 80 more points, and do with that what you will. You could ally in another little wizard and throw Blizzard on it from Gits. Like you could do a Madcap Shaman, or you could do the spider one with the 5-up ward. So, and throw Blizzard on them, right? And then throw them at your opponent and just cast Blizzard. That could be cool. Yeah, I mean, lots of good stuff that you could do. But I personally think that the reinforced unit of brutes is fantastic and really good. And again, yeah, I mean, in this list, what I imagine is you're gonna throw Violent Fury on 2 units of Gore-gruntas. One of them is gonna get Hoarfrost. One of them is gonna get teleported. You're gonna move the Mega Boss or the Mega Boss on Maw-krusha forward. Probably, maybe even with whatever, Violent Fury, whatever it is. Everything else is gonna move up the board. The pigs are gonna crash in. The Mega Boss is gonna sit back and watch. Then turn 2, you might call the Wah, or maybe turn 1, it's 1 unit of pigs. The brutes get teleported, and then Mighty Destroyer with a unit of pigs, brutes, and the Mega Boss, right? And then turn 2, you're looking for a Wah, or even turn 1 if you're feeling really cheeky. If your opponent has some deployment errors, you can just get in there, call the Wah turn 1, smashing and bashing, and just end the game, right? Like you can just end the game on turn 1 if your opponent didn't deploy super properly against Ironjawz. And if they did, well, you can kind of just like, if they deployed super well, you can say, okay, you get to go first. Oh, because I guess I didn't mark down battalions. I think every one of these lists is a 2-drop, if I remember correctly. Every single one of these lists is 2 battle regiments. I think that, yeah, they're all 2 drops. They're all 2 drops. So, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not sure what to tell you. It's like all these people busted out all these new Ironjawz models, and the win rates went down. I think it's just because everyone got excited about these new Ironjawz units, and they looked kind of cool on paper, but once they actually hit the table, it's like, right, the Gore-gruntas are still the best. Gore-gruntas are still the best. And if Gore-gruntas are still the best, then I think Bloodtooth is still the best. Like, what are you going to do, right? Anyway, let me know what your experiences have been like playing playing Ironjawz. What kind of lists are you running? Are you enjoying it? Like, if you're playing Iron Suns with a bunch of brutes and Ardboys, are you at least having fun? Let me know. Like, subscribe, Wah.